this is my favorite place to eat when I'm downtown. It's called the Gore Street Cafe.
Why is this your favorite place? It doesn't seem like much.
See that?
Yeah.
Well, this place uses local fresh food, and they change that board every day. And the best part of all is they have no set prices.
No set prices? That's dumb. How does anyone know what to pay?
That's the thing. You pay what you feel it's worth. Or, you can afford. Sometimes a person will even barter for their meal.
Barter?
Yeah, that's where you trade your services or you give the cafe something that it needs in exchange for the food. And the best part is, normally people end up paying more than they would have if there was set prices because of how the thing makes them feel.
That's odd. Why would anyone pay more than what they would have been charged?
Well, they pay with how it makes them feel, because sometimes it brings back a really happy memory, or, just makes them feel really good about themselves, or they just want to donate more to local businesses to keep them running.
I get what you mean. It makes sense. But is that the only thing you like about this place?
Nope. You see that man over there with the laptop?
Yeah? The one that's kind of funky?
Yup. Well, that's Brent Running. He owns the building. It was gifted to him by Mr. Daniel Decato. He was the only one who believed in Mr. Running when he was a struggling artist. So Mr. Running sits at that table, and he's an author and writes all day.
He's an author? Has he done anything I've seen?
Well, he did some short films, one called Teacher's Lessons. The point is, a few times a month, he changes this cafe and laundromat into a comedian club. And lots of people come out and watch most of the time. He says that doing that helps him create because he gets to see local talent.
How do you turn a laundromat into a comedy club?
Well, come here. See all those tables and chairs and stuff?
Yeah?
Well, they fold up all of those tables and chairs and move them and put a stage there so that people can get up there and do their shows. I came here last week and I saw a girl. She was really good. She was a comedian, but the crowd wasn't really big, so that part kind of sucked.
No.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome. Come on out. I'm glad everybody's here. This is going to be a nice, fun night, I hope. It's been a while, so if I'm going to be rusty, hey, bear with me here. I've been out of the circuit for a while. I got married. Please hold your applause. I know, this day and age, who wants to get married? I did. But hey, I got so sick of dating. It's the same garbage over and over again. And hey, the first guy that came up that said, I don't want to get married, you're mine. So I do appreciate you guys working with me. I'll be working with you. There's been a lot of, like I say, frustration in all of this, just trying to find the right man, trying to find the right thing, trying to find the right venue. I do appreciate the management here for giving me this, but I do appreciate anything and everything that comes along, so happy to be here tonight. And all you people are very happy and smiling and enjoying yourselves. Oh, there's so much frustration in the world today, isn't there? We've got tornadoes, we've got hurricanes, we've got weather that's going freaky, and anybody else get a laugh out of all these comments that we're seeing here on Facebook? Please pray for the world, please pray for this, please pray. Has anybody ever prayed and it actually come true? Has anybody ever sat down and sat there and had a prayer and the next thing, poof, there's $1 million. Poof, there's Johnny Depp. Poof, there's something that we want. It don't happen, does it? God doesn't work that way. In fact, they say God is everywhere. But if God was everywhere, would we be having famine? Would we be having Donald Trump? Would we be having anything that's going on in this world? I don't think so.
Kathy, wake up! Attention! Arise!
Oh, God, who turned on the spotlight? Jesus, that's bright.
It's no spotlight, Cassie. It's me, God, the Supreme Being, the Lord, Him with a capital H.
Come on, you're not God.
Believe me, Cassie, I'm it.
Okay, no, you're not. You can't fool me. I've seen God before. He's more than just a ball of light. There is no way you are God.
Listen, Cassie, you haven't seen God. You've seen movies. That's the main reason I'm here now. I want to prove God isn't like that. I'm God, not George Burns.
Okay, I don't understand. Okay, couldn't you come down here? We can go to lunch, discuss this like two rational human beings.
No! That's precisely my point. God doesn't discuss things over lunch. What does it take to get through to you? I am the creator of the universe, a true religious figurehead, not just the guy next door. I've been commercialized against my will. My image of thousands of years shot to hell.
Hey, watch your language.
Why? Hell. What are you gonna do about it? Now sit down and listen to me.
Okay, just don't lose your head, please.
I don't have a head. I'm God.
Right, okay. Go on, continue your story.
And don't patronize me.
Sorry, go on.
Good. I want you to stop my reputation as a commoner. People these days refer to me much too casually. I'm no longer the ultimate being, the creator. People regard me as some sort of cartoon character. I certainly don't need that. I command respect. I want things to be like they were when people went to church every Sunday to pray to me. Now the only time my name comes up is in swear words.
Or when they sneeze.
What?
You know, Gesundheit.
What does that have to do with me?
It means God bless you in German.
No, actually it means health, not God bless you. Anyway, you get my point. I want to change all that.
Oh, okay, then tell me, why am I so fucked up?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I just roll a die and based on the number, I decide what'll happen.
Really?
Yes.
But that's not fair.
Don't worry, I throw the die without looking. The surface is even, and the dice is made of the finest material available.
What's it made of?
Solidified bullshit.
What?
Look, bullshit will always result into bullshit. Anything else, if done, can degenerate into bullshit, and so is intrinsically unfair.
I guess that kind of makes sense, but...
Worried about your job? Aren't you forgetting something? I'm God!
What's this?
Well, open it up and see for yourself.
Gee, wow. But, look, I'm not interested in money. I'm...
What's this? I just gave you $1 million tax-free, and I don't even get a thank you? God doesn't give away money every day, you know.
Look, I'm sorry. I really appreciate it and everything. It's just, there's kind of a problem here. I don't really believe in God. I mean, at least not your type.
I'm confused. I'm floating here, just a mass of light talking to you. How can you say you don't believe in me? You're not sleeping, you know.
Well, it's hard to explain. I never argued that God didn't exist. I just didn't take a stand. I mean, I'm not religious at all. If there is a God, fine. If not, that's fine too.
Okay, but you can't very well deny I exist. Now can you?
I am not the right person for this job. I mean, look at me. I'm an actor, downstairs in the bottom of a theater, taking a nap between shows.
So what am I supposed to do? Get a priest? You think I haven't tried that? It doesn't work. It's their job to tell people they speak to God. Nobody takes extra notice when one of them claims that God actually spoke back.
What makes you think that they'll notice me?
You're perfect. You said it yourself. You never denied the possibility, but you're not religious. They'd listen to you. Show them the faded carpet. Prove that God exists, and he's not some old has-been. I'm a very much still is. Tell them I'm the real God, just like the book. Nothing has changed. Tell everybody to worship me again. They'll believe you. You're a nobody.
Gee, thanks.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean that exactly, but it's true. They will notice you. It'll hit the papers.
What? No, you're wrong, God. Okay, nobody reads the papers anymore anyways. Just face it, you're ruined. If I go up to some reporter and tell him that I met God in the basement of a theater, he's not going to publish it. He is going to look at me, pick up the phone, and call the funny. No, you don't understand, okay? The messenger thing's been done before. It's old news. Come up with something original, like maybe a miracle.
I knew you were going to say that. That's your solution for everything. Let me tell you something, Cassie. Nobody pays me to be God, you know. My budget was shot to hell creating mountains. I don't have the money to produce elaborate miracles. Anything I could whip up, they could reproduce in Hollywood for half the price, and they'd probably do it better with top-name stars.
You're putting me on. You just gave me like $1 million, and now you're saying you have no money? Well, where'd you get this? Your rainy month fund?
That was a fluke. I happened to be out hovering around one evening when I caught St. Peter taking a bribe from a sinner. No, Cassie, I'm afraid the miracle idea is out. It's got to be the messenger. You're it, my friend.
And what if I refuse?
Then you'll wake up tomorrow morning as a dwarf elm tree.
Okay, what if I leave town?
Don't make me laugh.
Oh, right. You're God. Okay, I'll do it. But under one condition.
What is it you want?
Can we please discuss this over lunch? This light is killing me.
Well,
My treat.
can I have anything I want?
Anything. Wait a minute. You look like me. Why do you look like me? Do you remember in the Bible it says God created man in his image? Yeah, of course. That's actually incredibly misunderstood. You see, I have no physical form. So when I created humans, I made it so if I manifest in front of them, they see a reflection of themselves. I guess you could say man created God in his image. But the fact is, you humans have misunderstood many of the things I have told you. Really? Like what? No, wait a minute. How come when you were that big ball of light, you used this booming man voice, and now you sound like me? Because that's exactly the type of voice you'd expect to hear from God. That's another problem with you. You people think that I created humans myself, or that I stopped after making Adam and Eve. Little known fact, Eve was not Adam's first mate. At first I created Lilith, the same way I made Adam, but her and Adam didn't get along and she left him. So I created Eve as a replacement. Wow. I mean, tell me more. Well, how about we talk about it over lunch? Oh, okay, but now you gotta tell me some of the really good stuff.
And thank you very much, everybody. I really appreciate the applause. I appreciate the encouragement. Like I say, it's been a long time since I've been up here, and not everything's going to make you laugh, but hey, just do a chuckle. I don't care. Just give me a reason to live. Because, hell, I'm getting up there, aren't I? Yeah, I know. Look at gray hairs, gray hairs. I won't tell you where else I found gray hairs, but I found gray hairs. So, yeah, it's all of a sudden the reality is I'm not 23 anymore. I like I'm 23, but I'm not 23. I know I don't look it, do I? I mean, I'm still looking, let's not go there. Anyhow, so yeah, like it's getting up there and I'm starting to think about the future. I'm thinking about the fact that I'm gonna have to have old age, I'm gonna have to have retirement. I'm worrying now about the futures in tuna, how much is cat food gonna cost me to be able to exist every day? You know, little things like that. You know, what happened to the funds? Oh, sorry, government says, there's no money left for you people. Put you on an iceberg, go out to the water. But yeah, I've been thinking about getting old, and that's one of the reasons I got married. I just didn't want to be by myself anymore. I just want to have somebody with me, so that when I'm at that final moment and I'm gasping, they can go, pull the plug, I got the cute little nurse over here, I don't need her anymore. So yeah, like I think about these things. So I want somebody when I die, he's fucking dying with me. Excuse the language, folks. Sorry about that boy. Yes, sorry about your son. Yeah, you just.
Dead morning! Oh yeah, very dead morning to you too, my friend.
Did you get any sleep last night? You were turning in your grave.
No, I actually couldn't sleep. I keep having all these nightmares.
Funny, a ghost having nightmares. Same one as before, I bet.
Yep. They build an apartment building over this place and we have nowhere to go. We're homeless.
Graveless. That's the term, my friend.
Yeah.
Anyway, nothing of the sort is gonna happen. You know those young chaps who've been turning up here lately?
Yeah, I keep bumping into them.
Those are the ones. A lot of them told us that they told me, actually, that, you know, they've been killed in Afghanistan or Iraq, and I told them I'd been hunting on wild safari many different times, but I'd never went into such wild animals as those. I mean, with the amount that they're killing over there, I don't understand why parents or politicians don't just stop the kids from going to these dangerous areas.
Yeah. What about them?
Well, one of them, they told me that this cemetery, the whole cemetery, is now going to be a special place just for them to go. So there's no way they're going to build an apartment building over top.
Oh yeah, well with the price of living nowadays, it's better to be dead than alive.
At least we don't have to pay rent on our graves.
Oh, give them time. They'll come up with a way to do just that. So, what happened to you, by the way?
I died.
Yeah, no shit. I know you died. How did you die?
Well, drunken driving.
What?
Drunken driving. I ran into this girl, and she told me that she died from drunken driving. And then she explained to me how all that worked. But it wasn't me that was drunk. It was the horses were drunk, and they started running really fast. And we were coming up on a precipice, and I yelled, "Halt!" And they stopped suddenly, and I flew off the cliff.
Yeah, you know, I used to think that cars were safer than horses, but lately there's a lot of young people coming here that died from drunken driving. Oh, now they're talking about this new thing called texting and driving. I couldn't really grasp what they meant by it.
Yeah, alcohol never does any good to anyone.
No.
How'd you end up here?
Oh, it was a grave error on my part. No, I was alive during the time when Edison created the light bulb. I was trying to impress my boyfriend. I unscrewed the light bulb, stuck my finger in the socket, thought I'd light up. He always said I was the light of his life.
Then?
Oh, then I was standing before St. Peter himself, and we were waiting at the gates. God was apparently doing some reconstruction or something. There was a huge line. He told me it was going to be a long wait. Christ was already there, Buddha, Washington, everybody. They said my only option was to either go to hell where the lawyers and politicians were and strike a deal with them, or come back to Earth. So I came back.
Yeah, I was offered the same choice.
Yeah, well, I mean, here on Earth, at least the lawyers and politicians die. In hell, they're around forever. So,
well, I tried to communicate with my family, and they thought it was just the cat moving stuff around. So I wrote them a letter, and then they thought the cat was a witch, so they burned it alive. So
Yeah,
came back to this grave.
I came back to Earth too because I went to see my fiance and found out he was married to my sister. By the way, that cat, is that the same cat that's in your grave all the time?
Yep.
Does he catch mice? Because they eat my body at night.
I couldn't get him to catch mice when he was alive, and from what I've heard, you can't teach a dead cat new tricks. So, you know. So, yeah. No one visits us.
Nope. I've been dead for over 100 years. You've been dead even longer. People have forgotten us. Okay? The only thing that ever comes to visit us is that dumb dog, and all he does is pee on our graves to mark his territory.
Oh, we should try hunting again.
No.
That's
No. Do you remember what happened last time?
Oh, damn. That woman, she was a witch. She trapped us in her purse.
Yes, and I thank God the spell wore off, didn't work the next time. We were already trapped in there for 10 years. That's long enough. Oh. You know,
Whatever happened to her?
that's what I was just going to tell you. She became a freaking an elementary school teacher after that with her charming personality and her beautiful face.
Boy, that woman can discipline those kids.
Oh yeah, bet you she can.
I still think we should try to hunt someplace.
Oh, okay. I mean, it won't work. People nowadays, they're so cynical and skeptical. They don't get scared by anything. The devil himself could be standing before them and they go, like, no, it's a horrible idea.
You know, you remember back in the 60s? Those were the days. We could scare anybody, except for those peace hippie types. Remember them? They thought we were imaginary people, and then they were doing that seance that night, and the girl fell in the grave pit. I'm still wearing the outfit that she decided to give me so I could look more like I was at peace with the world. Yeah, those were the days.
Oh yeah, that's the day I discovered you could swap clothes with other ghosts. I didn't have to wear the same clothes I wore when I was dead. Or I could just take them off the bodies of people who didn't come back to Earth. Or, you know, the atheists, since they don't go anywhere.
I know. I was very surprised to learn what happens to you after you die is based on your own beliefs. Even more to learn that we judge ourselves based on, what we were taught while we were alive is how we should have lived our lives in the first place.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all a little fuzzy to me. I mean, there's younger people here who died more recently, and they're telling me that there's these TV shows where people are like hunting ghosts and stuff. Oh, maybe we should go and find these people and surprise them by, letting them find a ghost or two.
Yeah, maybe. But, what if they have some kind of contraption that can hurt or capture us? Remember what the younger ghosts were telling us about that movie called Ghostbusters.
Okay, listen. That is all entertainment bullshit.
Maybe, but, they're inventing a lot of new technological stuff that could do anything nowadays. Anyway.
And thank you very much again. I really appreciate you guys. It's really hard when you're coming back. There's so many young people out there nowadays, so I really do appreciate the love that you're giving me for what I'm doing up here. Because let's forget about the death. Let's just be honest on the age. I'm not a young person, and my time in comedy, my greats are gone. We've lost the great ones. We've lost Pryor. We can't get rid of Cosby as much as we try. We've lost Carlin. We've lost the greats. And, some of the guys nowadays are not bad, except for Dane Cook or Carrot Top. But let's not go there. Carrot Top, let's not go there. But, it's really hard nowadays. When I started in comedy, we had a handful of us. We would go out, we'd go to the shops, or the clubs, the bars, any place that would have us. The Kinsmen, Any place that would have us, we'd go up there, we'd do a bunch of sets. Then we'd all get together after. We'd go to a restaurant, we'd all sit down, and we'd talk about each other. You know, if you said this instead of this, that would make this funnier. If you did that, you can't do that nowadays. I was at a place with a young comedian, no names, and listened to his act, and I afterwards said, hey, you know what would be really funny? He said, what? I said, if you did this. He said, you know what would be really funny? I said, what? He said, piss off, Grandma. It's just not the same nowadays. If you go out there and you go to the clubs, these clubs, the comedy clubs, are thriving on all these new comedians, and we've got dozens of them. Pardon me, hundreds. Everybody's a comedian nowadays. Everybody wants to make easy money. Everybody wants a quick way. So you've got to invent different ways to be able to be noticed. Everybody hated Joan Rivers, but Joan Rivers created a persona. Joan Rivers was not Joan Rivers. I met Joan Rivers. Joan Rivers is not Joan Rivers. A very generous, happy, loving person. But what you've seen on stage was what she created to bring in an audience. And sometimes you have to do that. And which is fine. You have to have a gimmick nowadays. Stephen Colbert. Everybody watched the show after what's his name show. I know, Jon Stewart. I'm being funny, okay, guys? Just, put the bottles down, put the bottoms down. But when Stephen Colbert started off, he had this persona. And we all laughed at it, but that wasn't Stephen Colbert. He created this gimmick. And without this page nowadays, with everybody out there trying to be a star, a superstar, we need to have that little extra, that little link that we have to reach to, that step above everybody else. In order for everybody to see us, we have to shine. It's kind of hard to shine when you're older. And it's become very difficult in the comedy world to shine. Because unless you create a myth of yourself, or you get into the right area and things blow up, you're not noticed. There's a lot of fantastic comedians out there. Please support your local comedians when they come through. Support any comedians that come through. Be honest with them. If they're not funny, do not laugh. If they are funny, support them. Let them know what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong. They all come to their own time, or they fall along the wayside. But if you want to get into show business, if you want to get into comedy, if you want to do anything nowadays, I don't care if you're young, if you're old, what you are, you need a gimmick. Find that one thing to make you stand out. If you've got to have an entourage of billy goats, I don't care. Do something to stand out, because that is how you're going to make it nowadays.
Next! Well, what's your name?
Raylan.
Make it Red Miller and you got the job.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding. I don't even know what job you're applying for.
Oh, I am a comedy writer.
Yeah? Are you good?
Well, I have an extensive resume.
So, I'm not interested in a resume. My brother's been doing stand-up comedy in the bars for years, and nobody thinks he's funny. The only thing that's funny in comedy is comedy. I want what you do to make me fall off my chair laughing. Can I do that?
Well, it depends on the armrests.
What?
The armrests on a chair, it would be much easier for you to fall off a stool than it would a chair with armrests.
I'm not laughing.
Well, what can I do to prove to you that I am the right person for the job? I have some scripts here.
No. Humor on paper is flat. It often looks funny on paper than it actually is when it's performed live. I'd say you should come back here when you have something live to show me. That's all right, Milla. Good day.
It's Raylan.
Right. Change that, would you?
Look, I have a DVD. I can
Listen. Don't you understand? I want live. Did I say video recordings? I don't want you to show me some shoddy video that your local cable company shot for you in high quality. It's definitely not going to impress me. It has to be live or nothing. Thank you, Radmilla. I have no more time for you. Next!
Wait! Okay, I didn't want to do this, but you put me on the spot.
What are you talking about?
Well, you want live comedy. I have got a cast of performers out there waiting to show you live comedy.
What?
We've been rehearsing for months. They have the scripts and we can do the whole show for you right now.
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. You're telling me that you have a whole cast
And crew.
and crew outside the door waiting to perform material live just so you can land this job.
Well, that sums it up pretty well. I mean, can I let them in now?
Here? Well, how many did you say there were?
20 performers, 10 crew, and then there's the audience.
Audience?
Well, yeah. I mean, canned laughter, that's so boring. I thought if I brought in a real live audience, it would be certain to impress you.
Oh, yes, but I suppose. How many are in the audience?
280.
How do you expect to fit 280 people in here?
Oh, don't worry, I've already figured it out. The work crew came in this morning and installed everything. I'm really surprised you didn't notice.
Oh my God. How long have those been there?
Just a few minutes. But I will have it all cleaned up, I promise you. I didn't let them bring any food or beverages in, and it'll all be finished just as soon as I get the job.
And if you don't get the job?
Oh, it looks like you have about 280 chairs to unscrew and a bunch of programs to pick up.
Programs?
Oh, yes, you surprised me. Well, I didn't think someone like you would think a show could be complete without programs. I mean, here's yours.
Any big name stars in it?
No, they're just friends. I mean, they're not getting paid. They're just doing me a favor.
Okay, but have they acted before? I mean, are they gonna make your stuff look bad? I mean, that's assuming that your stuff isn't bad in the first place.
Listen, I went through an entire audition process with all of them. They are very experienced, and they're going to be sure to put on a fantastic show for you.
Okay, well, obviously you've put me on the spot. I hardly want to disappoint 280 plus people, so let them in.
Oh, great. Thank you. I'll go and get them right now.
I hope it's funny.
So do I. So do I.
Can you tell me more about this author?
What's to tell? He sits there most days, and no one else is allowed to sit at his table. He's often dressed, rather eccentrically.
No, that's not right. What kind of name is Quinn? Alex, yeah, that's it. He should be called Alex. Maybe I'll try putting him at a nice table on a date or after the deed is done. So far, starting him off in bed hasn't worked out too well. Let's see. Change. Let's see. Yeah. Round table. Red tablecloth. Elegant. centerpiece. Two people sitting at it with wine glasses. Yes, that's it. And centerpiece. Two people sitting at it with wine glasses. Yes, wine glasses. Wine glasses on the table. Oh yes, I like that setting, very romantic. Yeah, that's good. So Gabby, how was it?
How was what?
No. He looks too slick. This just won't do. It'll mess everything up.
Oh, so what?
There's no way it ain't this. Now let's see. Oh, I know. He should be shy, like a schoolboy on his first date, dressed up all nice and clean like. Gabby, Gabby, how was it?
How was it? How was what?
It. You know, the, sex.
Why? Do you want to judge a score like in the Olympics? Technical merit, 4.9. Artistic achievement, 3.2.
Well, I just wanted to see if you found it, I don't know, pleasing, satisfying, the least bit entertaining?
I didn't find it pleasing or satisfying or the least bit entertaining.
Oh, I'm sorry I asked.
I didn't find it pleasing or satisfying or the least bit entertaining for the simple reason that we haven't done it.
We haven't?
No, we haven't. We've never done it. And as the way things stand, we're never going to do it. And one more thing.
I can hardly wait.
My name isn't Gabby.
It isn't?
It's Grace.
Grace?
Grace.
I could have sworn it was Gabby.
It was.
What do you mean it was?
In versions 3, 7, and 9.
Versions? What versions?
Film versions. This is the 15th.
What are you talking about?
You're a character.
Really? You mean you find me charming, quirky, offbeat?
Don't be ridiculous. Not that kind of character. You're a character. I'm a character. We're both characters in a film. Although at this point it isn't much of a film, it's more of a work in progress. Although the writer isn't making much progress, that is.
No. Wait just a minute. That doesn't make much sense. I'm here, you're here. I'm flesh and blood. You're definitely flesh and blood. And I'm talking in complete sentences. And you're saying I'm some kind of fictional character?
Well, look around you. What do you see?
You, me, the table, the wine glasses, the candle.
Anything else? don't find that a little strange?
I suppose.
It's called a limbo set.
What's a limbo set?
It's a type of set that's either blank or out of focus.
There's got to be another explanation.
Well, let me ask you this. Where were you born?
Where was I born?
It's a simple question.
Well, I was born, let me think.
Well, while you're thinking on that, tell me your mother's name.
Well, that's easy. It was, it was...
What did you have for breakfast?
Breakfast? Breakfast.
Yeah, breakfast, the most important meal of the day. You don't know, do you?
God, I must have amnesia.
You don't have amnesia. It's an interesting twist, but he is not that clever.
He? Who he?
The writer.
How come you know all this stuff and I don't?
Probably because he has rewritten your dialogue so many times. It's a wonder you even know your own name.
Well, that I know. It's Quinn.
Alex.
Alex?
Alex.
When did I become Alex?
In the last stage directions.
Stage directions?
You really have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?
Not a clue.
Okay, well, stage directions are the writer's ideas, suggestions, concepts for whoever's making the film or the play. A director should always read and make notes of the stage directions, but they should never be written in stone. Remember, it's up to the director to interpret the script and stamp it with their own vision.
Maybe I'm just an actor filming a part.
Actor? Oh, God, no.
I could be an actor just filming the part of a character who has amnesia.
You don't have amnesia, trust me. Someday you may be filmed by an actor, but I sincerely doubt that. Anyways, if it helps, before the last rewrite, you actually were Quinn. Before that, you were Kalani, Brent, Mario.
What's wrong with me that he, whoever the hell he is, has to keep changing my name and deleting everything I say?
He's not sure what you want.
I'm here at a table with you, waiting to go upstairs to a room. What's so hard to figure out?
Don't look at me. It's not my fault. Besides, this is the first time we've been at a table. Usually by now we're already in bed. And maybe that's why you think we already had sex. He probably forgot to rewrite that line.
You're saying it's, me?
Yep, that's what I'm saying. It's you.
Is there something wrong, like, with my plumbing or something?
Not that I can tell.
Then what's the deal?
You're the knowable one in this piece. You want more than sex.
There's more?
Apparently.
Really? Like what?
Like a real, honest to God relationship. Oh, God.
I want a real relationship? Me, not you. God, I must be a character in a film. And what do you want?
To get laid.
Oh, I see. No, I don't see.
I want it for the wrong reason.
There's a wrong reason for wanting to,
Get laid. It's okay, you can say it. There's only the two of us here.
Okay, I give up. What's the wrong reason?
I want it as a form of reassurance. A validation of my attractiveness, my sexuality.
You're kidding. Why would you need reassurance?
My husband, Gabe, Don, Michael, anyways, he left me for my best friend or his secretary or my coworker, and I'm really not too clear on all this right now, but right now I'm using you to show me that I'm still desirable.
Using me?
You're a reluctant participant.
Reluctant? Because I want a real relationship? Is this writer gay?
Oh, I have no idea. But this is really a nice change, though.
What change is that?
Your attitude and the fact that we're sitting at a table instead of laying in a bed.
What about it?
Well, for the first time in 14 versions, you don't seem so reluctant. You actually seem interested.
I am.
Well, maybe he's going in a new direction.
I wouldn't know, but I see no reason not to be interested. Very interested.
Well, I don't want to get my hopes up. That's all this guy ever does is go in new directions.
So, what can you tell me about me other than the fact that want a real relationship?
Well, you're a gynecologist.
A gynecologist? Really? Have I always been a gynecologist?
Yeah, well, that's never changed. He thinks gynecologists are funny.
What kind of warped mind are we dealing with here?
What can I tell you?
Then, this is not a comedy, is it?
Not intentionally.
You know, I vaguely remember saying something about gynecologists having the highest suicide rate of any profession.
He constantly goes back to that, especially when the conversation turns to sex, which it does a lot.
Does he have some kind of obsession with sex?
More like an oral fixation.
He's hung up on oral sex?
Only if you consider endlessly talking about the subject, oral sex.
For a minute there, I was almost encouraged. So, why do I want a real relationship?
So, you can see why I like this little cafe so much.
Yeah, this is a very interesting place so far.
Well, I think we've had enough for one day. We'd better get back to the family. We need to feed them too.
Or they'll think you brought me in on a shopping spree, which would be nice. Can we come back here again sometime?
Sure, we can make this our special little spot.